mountain range on the northwest frontier province of Pakistan constitutes a defensive wall for the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent. These arduous mountains are marked by many passes, big and small. Of these, the Khyber Pass and the Kohat Pass have a special significance. The snow-capped mountains and lush green valleys of the northern areas of Pakistan reflect the splendor and beauty of nature. The barren but imposing mountains on the northwest also symbolize nature's glory. At the mountains is located the city of Peshawar, capital of NWFP. Centuries ago, it was one of the important cities of the famous Silk Route, which was a trade link between China and Europe. At a distance of 9 miles from Peshawar is situated Babe, which can rightly be called Gate of the Khyber. Significant historical relating to the Khyber Pass, Khyber Agency, and also about the British rulers are inscribed on the wall adjacent to the Khyber Gateway. The area around Khyber Pass is known as Khyber Agency. In the history of the world, no other pass except the Thermopylae Pass of Greece is as important as the Khyber Pass. Near the Khyber Gateway lies the fort of Jamrud, which was built by a Sikh general, Hari Singh Nalwa, in the year 1839. Situated at the mouth of the Khyber Pass, the fort of Jamrud is identified as one of the most important places of Khyber Agency. The Khyber Pass is stretched over 33 miles, winding its way in hilly track which leads to Afghanistan. From there, one can travel towards Central Asian countries. During the last 5,000 years, this pass has been route for tourists, scholars, trade caravans between East and West, and conquerors entering the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent from the Central Asia. This also provided a route to Aryan tribes which invaded the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent in 1600 BC. A section of the armed forces of Alexander the Great and the soldiers of the Mughal Emperor Babur forced their way into the continent in 326 BC and in the year 1625, respectively. Nader Shah from Iran invaded the already declining Mughal Empire through Khyber Pass towards the end of the 18th century. Thereafter, the Afghan ruler Ahmad Shah Abdali adopted similar route to crush the growing power of Marathas. In the history of the subcontinent, British rulers are the only invaders who conquered the Khyber Pass from the eastern side. The Khyber Pass is an ancient route which may once have been a part of the Silk Route. Tourists and trade caravans traveling between China and European countries may have crossed this historic pass. Parallel to this ancient pathway runs a metalled and relatively wider road, which is now busy with vehicular traffic. At some height from the Khyber Pass road, a railroad has been constructed, cutting across mountains. The train is in operation from Peshawar to Landi Khana near the Afghan border. The British rulers of the subcontinent had built this rail track in 1925 for the movement of their armed forces and the military hardware up to the Afghan border. Subsequently, a weekly train service was started for the convenience of passengers. The construction of railway through the most difficult mountainous track is an engineering marvel. About 10 kilometers ahead of Jamrud is situated the fort of Shagai, which was built by the British rulers in 1928. At some distance from the Khyber Pass, one can see the Ali Mosque, which is also included in the list of important landmarks of the pass. The Khyber Pass Agency is inhabited by important tribes, including Afridis, Mullah Ghori, Shalmani, and Shinwari. This This mosque has been built 3,600 feet above sea level. The structure of the fort is above the ground as well as under the ground equally. On way from Torkham to Jamrud, there are many checkposts to check for drugs and other illegal items. The Khasadars posted at these checkposts inspect the trains and check the passengers and their luggage in an effort to detect any contraband materials. If we go further from here, we will come across a stupa, which is a relic from the period when Buddhism dominated this region. On the roadside near Landikotal, one can see cliffs and stones marked by the crests, insignia and names of British and Pakistani regiments which remained posted in Khyber Agency at different points in time. At a short distance from Afghan border towards Landikotal stands a building of Khyber Rifles Mess. The gallery of Khyber Pass Rifles is worth visiting. The historic photographs of the Quaid-e-Azam when he toured the area is on display at the gallery, in addition to other photographs of historical importance. As a mark of respect for visiting dignitaries and on special occasions, the Jawans of the Frontier Corps present regional dances, which generally consist of Kathak, Betani, Chitrali and Masood dances. The unit of Khyber Rifles was formed in November 1878. It enjoys the honor of being the senior unit of the civil and armed forces. Khyber Rifles remarkably rendered valuable services during the First and Second Afghan Wars, the First and the Second World Wars, and also during the wars fought between India and Pakistan in 1948, 1965, and 1971. Landikotal is functioning as commercial, political and social center of Khyber Agency. It provides a marketplace where one can purchase indigenous as well as exotic products. The officers and Jawans of Khyber Rifles are responsible for safeguarding the agency. Some distance from Landikotal is Michni, an important post of Khyber Agency. Situated at a height of 3,700 feet above sea level, Michni presents a panoramic view of picturesque surroundings. From here, one can see the habitation of Torkham on the Afghan border. At this point, the Jawans of Khyber Rifles provide necessary information about the territory to the tourists visiting the area. Walking distance from Michni is Torkham, situated at the end of the Khyber Pass. Crossing the border, one can enter the territory of Afghanistan. Torkham, near the Pak Afghan border, you can see movement of passenger buses and trucks loaded with merchandise towards Afghanistan. Under the Pak Afghan trade agreement, shipments of merchandise from abroad reach Karachi seaport for onward transmission in a fleet of trucks to Afghanistan. Throughout the British rule, the tribal areas were kept backward, which can be verified from the fact that there were only 2 schools in Khyber Agency till the end of British rule. When Pakistan came into being, the government immediately focused attention on the progress of this region. At present, 189 primary schools for boys are functioning in Khyber Agency alone. For girls, there are 69 primary, 5 middle and 2 high schools. In Khyber Agency, 18 middle schools and 16 high schools are imparting education to boys of the area. For higher secondary education, 1 degree college and 2 elementary colleges have been set up for teaching various subjects in arts and science. The government of Pakistan has been providing adequate opportunities for higher education to students belonging to the tribal areas. For the overall development and welfare of the region, it is very essential to concentrate on health care of the people. At present, 1 agency hospital at Landi Kotal and 4 civil hospitals, 1 each at Jamrud, Dogra Picket, Lower Amana and Louis Shilman have been set up to provide better medical facilities to the residents of Khyber Agency. In addition to 13 civil dispensaries, 1 leprosy hospital and 1 hospital exclusively for TB patients have been established as a part of the healthcare program. The pace of overall development in Khyber Agency is being further accelerated day by day. After visiting Khyber Pass, we are now taking you on a trip to another agency. This is the Kohat Pass, which is located at a distance of 19 miles from Peshawar, between Peshawar and Kohat. In Kohat Pass area, Adam Khel has attained special significance due to a multitude of reasons. Like Khyber Pass, this area is an attraction for tourists. In Kohat Pass, Adam Khel has gained importance due to the manufacturing of ammunition, rifles, guns and pistols made through locally devised methods. These possess remarkable precision and durability and can compare favorably with imported weapons. Tribesmen in the northwest frontier region are widely known for effectively using their weapons with precision. Every child here grows up playing with guns as toys. Here, tribesmen have fought many battles to safeguard their freedom, for which any price is small. These tribal children who are seen swimming in water reservoirs or playing will grow up to become outstanding marksmen. The most important tribes of the northwest frontier region include Afridi, Shinwari, Masood, Basir, Mohammad, Shalman, Mullah Khori, Khatak, Bangash, Uthman Khel, Tusi and Bitani. Having toured Khyber Pass and Kohat Pass, now you have arrived in Quetta, capital of Balochistan province. Quetta is derived from the Pashto word Quetta, which means fort. Surrounded by barren and rugged mountains, the town of Quetta lies in a green valley at an elevation of about 5,500 feet above sea level. The valley of Quetta is famous for a wide variety of fine fruits, such as grapes, pomegranate, apple, peaches, apricot, pears, melon, which are grown in abundance. Like other historical towns of Pakistan, the shopping areas of Quetta have some resemblance in style with the marketplace of old cities. If you like to move to Quetta after entering Balochistan from the border of Sindh, you will have to go through another historical pass known as Bolan Pass. The Bolan Pass begins from a place known as Avegum and ends at a place called Kolpur outside the town of Quetta. It was through this Bolan Pass that many invaders from Afghanistan and Iran entered the Indo-Pak subcontinent. This is an important place of Balochistan known as Mach. After conquering Balochistan, the British rulers built roads and laid railway lines connecting Quetta with other areas of the subcontinent. Mach is an important station on the Quetta track. In the beginning, the train facility was provided to ensure speedy movement of British Army and the military hardware to Quetta. In view of the vicinity of Afghan border, Quetta has always been considered important from the military point of view. The Quetta-bound train has to run through Bolan Pass for a long distance. A section of the railway which snakes through Bolan Pass is considered to be the most dangerous rail track in the world. It rises and falls frequently and has sharp turnings. To ensure a safe haul, the train requires two engines, one in the front and the other at the rear. At many places, the train has to pass through tunnels. Similar to that of the Khyber Pass, the train track has been constructed through the most difficult terrain by cutting across mountains at many places. This indeed is an engineering marvel. History provides an evidence to the fact that both Subuktigin and Mahmud Ghaznavi made their military expeditions up to Khuzdar, passing through Bolan Pass. Though it lacks authenticity, yet some of the historians are of the view that Commander Karatros, after he was isolated from the main body of Alexander's army, while in the Indus Valley, marched through the Bolan Pass via Quetta and reached Iran through Helmand Valley. In those days, the hilly terrain would have been more dangerous than it is today. This is the railway station of Kolpur. Its importance is mainly due to the fact that it is the last station of the Bolan Pass. The Bolan tribes are freedom-loving, industrious, hospitable, and as brave as the tribesmen of the northwest frontier province. The mountain passes of Pakistan, which you have toured with us, occupy a distinct position, both geographically and historically, all the hilly passes of the world.